What's up, people? Quickie review about the X3 bar by Jaquish Biomedical. First thing, some background on me and fitness. I am not a fitness guy. I was a sprinter in track in high school, 100-meter dash, 200-meter dash, and the relays, and played a little soccer. But I've never really been into like working out, going to the gym. I'm not a gym guy. I'm not a group guy. I'm not a fitness guy. I'm not a club guy. I don't want to spend a lot of time in the gym. I don't want to spend, a massive portion of my day and my week, really doing many physical activities. I'm kind of more a person of the mind overall, but of course, you need body and mind. So I was always, drawn in to X3 by the whole philosophy that you get the best workout in possible in the least amount of time possible. So that really and that really appealed to me, and as well as the variable resistance concept that you can lift more or push more at the top of a rep, and in order to maximize the workout that you get, you want that variable resistance where you're actually lifting less at the bottom of the rep and more at the top of the rep, which is what resistance bands do, right? So if I'm pulling this right here, I'm not pulling too much right there, but the further out I go, the more weight is being applied in resistance, right? So that always made sense to me because you're not recruiting other muscle groups just to get the weight up into the rep like you would be with free weights, but rather you're kind of like maximizing the workout for the particular muscle group that you're trying to isolate and work out for each exercise. So anyway, the components comes with a bar and a plate and this little groove in the middle for certain exercises where you slip the bands underneath the plate. And really good construction on both of these items, as well as on the bands. By default, it comes with 4 bands. This is the smallest band, and the black band is the biggest. And I use all of the bands. So I use, I think I'm still using the white band for the bent over row and the overhead press. Haven't gotten to 40 reps for each of those exercises yet, which is the recommended, program rep count before you move on to the stronger bands. And then for the black, I'm doing this for the chest press and for the squat. And then everything else, I'm using the 2 gray bands in between. So, yeah, between 15 and 40 reps is recommended if you're following the program. Of course, you can deviate from that a bit to suit your needs. So rest days, it's kind of different for me every week. Sometimes I don't really need a rest day between push day and pull day. But really lately, instead of push day and pull day, I've been splitting it up into upper body and lower body days. Sometimes I need a break in between, that first lower body day and that second upper body day. I usually start with upper body. And other days I don't. Sometimes I need 2 rest days, even 3. So just be intuitive. Like I do recommend trying to follow the program as it's written. You'll probably get good results. I certainly did. I gained 10 pounds of muscle in my first 3 months alone. I've been doing it for about 6 months now. So this is a 6-month review. I'm up to about 15 pounds of muscle. So not a huge dude. I only weigh about 175 pounds right now. But from where I was at before I started working out at all during this stint, I was about 160, and now I'm floating around 175, depending on the day. Yeah, try the program. If it works for you, it works for you. But my recommendation, for what it's worth, is to just tune in with your body and intuitively read into it and know what you need as far as rest days, how you want to split up the different workouts, et cetera, et cetera. This bar is extremely good construction. It is like brand new from 6 months ago. hasn't, stained, rusted, corroded. Uh, it still, rotates really smoothly. And that really comes in handy as you're kind of pronating a lot of your lifts with it. I have noticed that, I mean, the plate is solid too, but I have noticed it moves around a little bit underneath my feet sometimes if I'm doing like a really heavy band for squat, for deadlift. The deadlift workout, by the way, is killer. Like, great back workout as well as legs and grip workout. I find a lot of these workouts actually, my grip strength wears out before the arms or the legs or whatever muscle group I'm trying to focus on. And that's okay. If that's how it works out, that's how it works out, because essentially the strength in your arms or legs or back or chest is useless unless your grip strength can keep up with it, because all of your strength channels through your hands, right? When you're lifting something or pressing something or pulling something or pushing something. So I recommend, throwing in like maybe some specific grip strength workouts in addition to this. So maybe your grip strength improves and can start to keep up with your arms or chest or whatever it is you're working out, soon enough for you to like really max out on the workout overall. So anyway, I have felt this like moving around a bit under my feet, not necessarily like lifting up. That would be just a matter of like poor posture, So keep your feet flat, put more weight on the balls of your feet. Try to keep that center of gravity, stable and strong. But I kind of just mean like where these seams are, I kind of feel it moving around a little bit sometimes when I'm doing the squat and the deadlift, when there's a lot of weight pulling up on the underside of that plate. But I don't sense that it's going to break anytime soon, and it is under I think a 2-year warranty. So if it does, then I'll just cross that bridge when I get there. What else can I say? Regarding the workouts themselves, they're all really good. And a lot of them do involve more core workout than you would expect, and more back muscle workouts, like the chest press, because you have the band wrapped around here, you're doubling it and putting the doubled band on your back, up against your back and pressing like this. You're actually like really working out the upper shoulders and the traps and stuff as well. Also with the tricep downward press. And then the leg workouts are really great for the back as well. So these workouts provide you with a very natural movement each and every time. And, you want to go to complete and utter exhaustion with every set and get in those mini reps and those mini reps right at the end, just to, reach that failure point. And, I make sure to do that because, even though my mind is telling me that I'm going to die, you just have to power through, and go for it. Right. And the rewards are definitely there, Yeah. So she helps me out sometimes, like when I'm doing, the squat, she just like comes and just does a little cat perch right between my legs. And if my butt isn't tapping her on the head, then I'm not going down low enough. Also regarding that, everybody's body is, mechanically a little bit different. Everybody has their strengths and their points of flexibility and inflexibility. And for me, I mentioned I was a sprinter in high school, and I'm still pretty quick. Only about to turn 34, but I'm still relatively active. I was never that flexible. I always had trouble kind of getting out of the blocks, and I wouldn't get up to speed when I was sprinting until I was at about 50 or 60 meters in the 100-meter dash. That's when I would start to pass people. So I found that my flexibility has improved with this, with the X3, because of that variable resistance, that you're lifting so much less at the beginning of the rep than at the end or the top of it. Then you can kind of adjust your technique to suit your body's natural mechanics. But I have found that my flexibility has actually improved, especially regarding like the squat. So for a squat, I mentioned the cap thing. I can't go down super low in a squat for whatever reason. I think it's because I have disproportionately long femurs for like the rest of the proportions of my body. And that's one of the reasons I had trouble getting out of the blocks, and I'm not super flexible. And so I found that I'm able to go down a little bit lower now that, it's like my body is realizing that there's more involved in going into a low squat than just, your glutes, your hamstrings, your quads. Because all those other muscles are strengthening, and like even your ligaments and your tendons in your joints are strengthened as well. And I like how there's not like a lot of pressure on your joints to max out on weight, unlike with free weights. So I found that I've gotten a lot more flexible because everything is getting like the maximum pump possible. So squats have improved. My flexibility in my legs has really improved through doing the squat exercise, and deadlift too. What else can I say? So I do throw in a little extra, like whether it's an extra, cross, like, so for the chest, I mentioned I use the big band for the chest press. And again, I'm only 175 pounds or so. I'm not the biggest guy, but, my chest, I guess, is kind of strong. So I feel like I don't get a maximum chest press in my pecs by only doing the chest press and the downward tricep workout with the bar. So I'll throw in an extra set of cross chest presses like that. And always at the end, just to make sure that all my upper body muscles are totally spent, I'll throw in like a max out usually a single set of push-ups, full, no cheating push-ups, just to make sure that like I can't do anything more with any of the rest of my upper body. So anyway, up to 15 pounds of muscle from where I was. Didn't start out 6 months ago. Didn't start out with much body fat, if at all. So for me, it's kind of like straight gains. And again, like I'm not huge, but I'm doing all right. From where I started, I'm definitely in a different and better spot. And I feel like it's easier to gauge because I really am truly maxing out on each of these workouts. It's easy for me to gauge how much more my body can take throughout the week, get my rest days in, and when I go for it, I just go for it, So I definitely highly recommend the X3 bar and the resistance bands. Haven't found a need for the orange elite band yet, which is bigger than the large black band that comes with it as standard. Haven't really felt a need for the wider bar. They sell a wider bar because a lot of people were complaining that this is too short and they can't get what they're used to in weightlifting in. But again, this isn't weightlifting. It's something a little different, and I'm kind of a little different. So this appeals to me more than like a gym and normal free weights and normal exercises does. Also, just another thing that I throw in as extra just to make sure that I'm maxing out on everything is instead of doing X3 on some of my upper body days, I just max out on variable pull-ups and push-ups. So calisthenic workouts, body weight exercises. It's good for the core too. And that's where, some of the abage has come from, is actually like doing crunches and stuff at the top of a rep of pull-ups, So I kind of throw that in the mix just to make sure I'm maxing out on upper body stuff. Because honestly, if you can't do push-ups and pull-ups, you're just not that fit. It doesn't matter how much bulk you can lift, right? So anyway, highly recommend the X3. It's good for people who take a non-traditional approach to working out, fitness, and life. All right. Eat animal protein. Cheers.